chart, and this can be considered a map because we have here the 20-some kilometers of shoreline, the various cities, including Los Angeles, along the beach. And we have a vertical scale, a logarithmic scale, in order to keep this chart from going up to the ceiling. It's compressed. So this is 10,000 coliforms per 100 milliliter, then 1,110, and 1 would be about here. Before we provided any treatment, and when we were discharging the effluent about 200 kilometers offshore through our broken outfall pipe, the condition is represented by this line labeled 1943 to 1947. 200 meters offshore department. I'm so used to dealing in inches, feet, and miles that I try to train myself to convert. So if I make a mistake, please correct me rapidly. Offshore from our broken outfall, directly offshore, we had coliform counts of about 7,000 per 100 milliliters. This decreased gradually up and down the coast to something in the order of 200 at the outer extremities. At this time, this entire coastline was quarantined. The coliform counts were beyond what was allowed by the state health department. The remaining curves show as time went on and as different facilities were provided, what we were able to do in reducing those counts down to essentially the background level. And rather than go through each of those curves individually, I'd like to show if you're familiar, you could sort of remember this chart, and you have this in your handout, by the way. I'll go to the next chart. Now this is a summary chart of what we had on the previous page, and let me explain the coordinates. This is the same coordinates that you saw before, going from, although it doesn't go up to 10,000 because we don't need it for this long of a chart. This is 3,000 coliforms per 100 milliliters, 1,110, again, this logarithmic scale. And this is years, starting in 1946, ending in 1978. Each point on this chart represents one of the curves that are shown on the previous chart, and that's what you have. But instead of showing the entire curve, we have shown the average value for that curve. In 1946, the average coliform index was slightly over 2,000, about 2,500 coliforms per milliliter, representing the average at all of the lead stations we sampled during that time. Now, what we are showing in this curve then is the program that we instituted, what the effects of that program were. So remember, we'll start at this point, discharging approximately 600 megaliters per day through the broken outfall 200 meters from shore. The next point on the curve shows what happens when we chlorinated that flow to try and control the bacterial count. And you see there was a modest improvement from, say, 2,400 to 14 or 1,500 in the coliform index. Now we get to the pages